Hey guys, welcome back to another video response, and this time around to an old subscriber of mine, Kit171, who in the past I made several video responses to his videos when YouTube actually allowed you to do so. So anyways, it's been a long time since I made a video response to Kit171, who is a pretty big friend of mine here on YouTube. So I had some spare time to do this and decided to go ahead and do a quick video response. Besides, I thought the topic in question was a pretty interesting one. And of course, as you can tell by the title, I'm talking about, or the topic in question is 5 gaming items you'd love to have. And I'm gonna start, or for my answers, I will try to keep a somewhat realistic approach, in the sense that I won't be picking anything crazy like stadium events or something extremely rare like that. But instead, I'm gonna try and stay a little bit realistic. Although I do have some somewhat pricey items on my list. But anyways, without further ado, let's just start and with my number one choice, which is of course an arcade cabinet. If you love video games, you gotta have one. And I was having a lot of problems coming up with a choice for an arcade cabinet. I like a lot of the classic arcade games such as Street Fighter 2, Cadillac and Dinosaurs, Sega Rally, the very first Killer Instinct game. So I couldn't make up my mind, so I went ahead and cheated a little bit and decided to pick a MAME cabinet, which is essentially a custom-made cabinet that has a computer inside of it with loaded with all the ROMs from basically all the MAME games released, or arcade games released to date. Of course, this is cheating a little bit, but I figured those things exist out there, and they're pretty convenient, obviously, because you can load pretty much any arcade game and play them with your friends and stuff. So I would love to have one at one point or another. Of course, it's a pretty pricey item, but I thought it would be a very cool addition to anybody's collection, having that ability to play any arcade game at any given time. That sounds like a great thing to me. So that was my number one choice. Number two, of course, if you have an arcade cabinet, you have to have a pinball machine, right? So I went ahead and I picked an old favorite of mine, which is Tales of the Arabian Nights, which was released in the mid-90s by Williams. And while this is not a very popular machine among pinball enthusiasts, I have a lot of fond memories and nostalgia with this machine. My local mall had this machine, and just about everything from the board setup to the sounds that the machine makes. It's just great, and it takes me back to the good old arcade times when I was much younger. So Tales of the Arabian Nights by Williams will be the pinball machine of my choice if I could have one. For number 3, I had to pick a console that I do not own. And originally I was going to say the Neo Geo Advanced Entertainment System, but then I thought, if I have a MAME arcade cabinet, you basically have all the Neo Geo AES games in the MVS form. So instead of basically duplicating something, I went ahead and changed my answer to a Virtual Boy, which I know it's not the most popular console out there. Very controversial. It did not sell very well at all, but I do have fond memories of renting the machine with games like Mario Tennis, Tillero Boxer, and in other games. I think they had the Wario Land game. It was pretty good. And yes, it's not the best system out there, but it's a very unique system with not a huge library, but nevertheless, I would like to have it as some kind of oddity in my collection, if you will. So for my number 3 choice, it will be a Virtual Boy, which is, again, a somewhat of an odd decision, but I would love to have one in my collection. For number 4, I decided to go with Nintendo collectibles before they became a gaming company. And by that I mean either, Hanafuda cards, which is what they originally started doing as a business company, or maybe some toys like the Ultra Hand or Dynamic Soccer, baseball boards, the light telephone, etc. If you guys look in my old videos, I have a book overview of a book called Before Mario, which is essentially, it goes over the products that Nintendo made before they were a video game company. And you'll see that they have a lot of pretty unique products, such as, like I said, toys and other things that they developed in the past. So I think it'll be nice to have some kind of memorabilia celebrating what Nintendo was before they became the the gaming juggernaut that we all know by now. And lastly, I was having issues coming up with a fifth item on my list, but I decided to go with something a little bit odd and something that I don't think you can buy out there, but I've seen a lot of people create their own, and I'm talking about a replica of the Monado Sword, which is the main weapon in Xenoblade Chronicles for the Nintendo Wii. Obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles is one of my favorite JRPGs of all time, so the Monado Sword by default is probably my favorite RPG weapon of all time. And for those of you that have played the game, you probably know why. It's more than a weapon. It's a very, very powerful item, obviously. And like I said, Xenoblade Chronicles is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and I had a pretty good time with it. And I've seen a lot of pictures of people that do cosplay, that go to events like Comic-Con and stuff like that, that they have, created their own Monado Sword. And let me tell you, some of those replicas out there look like the real thing. So I think it'll be cool to have one. I don't know what I would use it for. I'll just probably have it, laying it in my game room or whatever. But nevertheless, I think it will be a cool item to have just because, right? So that's it, guys. It was a quick video response with the 5 gaming items that I'd love to have. Feel free to make a video response. I'll leave this open-ended. If you guys want to reply to this or to Kit171, feel free to do so. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.